Hi folks, I'm still on these oil paintings. I'm really enjoying them. So the watercolours, I'm afraid you'll have to wait a little while longer for me to do some more because I'm well into this. Now, talking about watercolours though, I've just put my studio radial easel up, and it's an ideal easel for oil painting because it's upright. I sit down to paint, and this is lovely. I'm not in the way. My arm might be, but there's my watercolour board that I clip my paper to, and I've got this table here which I added, and I've got a bigger piece of plywood that goes over that, but I'm using that as a table fixed into an IKEA type of carpentry workbench, which is very good. So I've got another table, but I'm just wondering if I could sort of do that, rest it there, but have a couple of pins in the back of this board to rest on the edge of the table. Then it won't slip down. I could get the angle to about there. That would be ideal. I'd be sitting here. It won't be such a good view from the camera because it'll be at the side, but I'll get really tired of keep putting up or interchanging three easels, or mostly two: the box easel and the Frank Herring metal tubular easel, which is a superb piece of equipment, but it's not ideal for everything. But if I could do that, then I could use this for oils and acrylics, the upright method. You won't be able to see the palette, unfortunately, but we can't have everything. This is an amateur setup after all, but if I can adapt this board with a couple of pins in the back so it wouldn't slide down, I'll be in business. I can lower that so I can have it resting on there. That would be... Oh, I could even put a couple of tacks in there. Oh, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Don't know how to do that with a hammer. But I'll fathom that out. That seems to be an ideal... Well, a great improvement. Then I wouldn't have to keep getting this one out, putting it up, taking the boxes. This takes up a lot of room. So there's my palette there. So I'm going to just raise the easel up, the camera up to there. Now this is quite a good view. This is a 16 by 12 board. I've got my oil there. I could lower my table down a bit, which I will. So I just undo the bolts at the back, the nut, the wing nut, tighten that, make sure it's nice and it doesn't fall down and hit me on the knees because it's quite a chunky bit of wood. Okay, there we are. That's ideal for me. Sun's just come out. It's been a lousy day, and yesterday we had loads and loads of rain. Now I don't know what you feel about climate change and so on. Climate does change, but man-made climate change. And in the UK they keep trotting out the IPCC, the International Panel for Climate Change. And I remember in the 90s when there was a 2 degrees centigrade increase in temperatures. It showed the spike, and they called it the hockey stick graph. But a couple of computer scientists in America found out that it was garbage in, garbage out. They were reporting incorrect data, which gave the impression of a huge spike in temperatures. Al Gore made a lot of money, as did a lot of other environmentalists, out of alternative technology. We've got the same thing pervading our politics now, apart from Brexit. That's bad enough. So I'm very sceptical about climate change, man-made climate change. But I might be wrong. But anyway, little rant over. I paint my own climate on here. So I'm using some fast-drying linseed oil, fast-drying sort of linseed oil. It's got some out. It's pure linseed oil, refined linseed oil with a bit of alkyd resin in. And I've got another little bottle. They're very expensive, isn't it? Right. If anybody wants to make a small contribution towards my new laptop, which is essential to do all this, the original one hasn't packed up. It's the fan bearing has gone, but I can't have a computer, not have a laptop out of action because it'll stop me doing all this. So when I feel flash again, I will endeavour to get it repaired. Then the old one I've got, which is 11 years old now, no 10 years old, on my left, which I use mainly for listening to the radio, the digital radio. Right, now, I don't think every style of painting or every subject in landscape is suitable for all this oiling, loose oil paint and tissue, the lifting out method. But I will adapt this in due course. But I do like the idea of just slopping on paint and seeing what happens, seeing where it goes. That's the great thing. So I've got a bit of blue on here, so we can have a bit of sky. So we can have all sorts of stuff, can't we? So I've got some light red. Let's have some light red and ultramarine. And plenty of oil. And just go a bit wild with it. Oh, I've got to put out some white. I'm using more colours than just the two colour one. Why not indeed? It's all there to be used. And I'm not cleaning the brush in between. I just squeeze out the paint on a piece of toweling, which is ideal for that. Let's just this will all give a colour. When I wipe it out, it'll give hopefully will give a colour. I've got something in mind, and it's the Somerset Levels with the river parrot. So I'll have a big sky. Let's have a bit of red in there. So the sky will be there somewhere. I did one on Saturday. It was the one with the large trees in. I call it the old oak tree. I put it in a lovely gallery frame earlier today, and I forgot to take out two panel pins, and I pushed the painting into the frame, fixed it, but then I saw these two nails hanging down. So rather than take it out of the frame, I pulled them out with pliers. And of course I scratched the paint, the delicate paint, so I'm trying to repair that at the moment. So I've overpainted a bit. Right, so we'll have a bit of blue in the background there. A bit of blue, a bit of red, a bit of white. A bit of Somerset background, Somerset Levels will. Now, the river, it won't show yet, but we'll put it in there. In the middle, pinch of oil. Let's have the river going down there. River parrot, this is all made up. The one I did yesterday, I based it on a Pinterest painting, but I didn't copy it, I just used it as a model. And I completely changed the style of it, and I did that abstract, the oil painting of it. But I just put the elements in. I like the subjects were there, but it bears no relationship to the original that I pinched it from. It just gave me the idea of a painting. Right, okay, so we want some bit of landscape, so a bit of green. Now we can. Oh, I've gone over the water now. Bit of Payne's grey in there. That's Okay, well, a bit of the green and red. And there were some trees on the background here. Bit of a bank in there. Right, let's start the old lifting out now. Oops. Bit of tissue, I've got loads of paper. Take out, you can put back, very quick, a bit painful on the old wrist. You can add, subtract. This is the right angle for this sort of work, in front of your face. Oops, bit of green in there. This is my rubbish bin. So there. Could always put a bit of oil on the paper. So take your clouds and stuff off, and the trees off the board. Don't fit in. I've mentioned this many times. And the last one I did, the watercolour, I moved Glastonbury Tor and put it between the trees. Bit of that artistic license. So now we've got a sky there. I'll just look at it. Right, back to the lifting out in the foreground. So you can use cloth, anything just to wipe out. I think I might have removed some of the primer there. I started working on all these paintings at 8:30 this morning. It's nearly 10:30. Most of that time was used preparing boards, changing paintings in frames. We've got our 50th wedding anniversary being celebrated here on Saturday, so thank you for all your best wishes in advance. But I want to just change the paintings over. That's nice, that lovely bright green. You can always put it back and then lift it out. So let's get these trees in. Let's have a bit of red, light red, and a bit of the old phthalo green. A bit more yellow in that, I think. Then we'll put some background in there. Let's have a bit of blue in that. So none of this exists, it's just if I think it looks possible, I just bang it in with some of this. That's going to be interesting when I lift it out. Nice bit of green in here. And we can add and subtract all the time. We're going to put in some that nice green in here. Cadmium yellow pale. Now I've got two different levels of the bank there, so let's see. Let's have a bit of now that's a bit wrong there. I've got a bit high with that one, so let's just take it out there. Right, okay, let's just start lifting out now. Find a clean bit of the tissue. Maybe that was a bit thick. The pattern on the paper is showing. So maybe toilet tissue would be better, but it's up to you what you use. I'm just using this because it's cheap. It's £2 a roll. And quite a lot of paper in it. You could also do what I did yesterday, is to put some paint on the tissue. I don't think my sky was the right idea, so we will change that. Clean this brush. Let's get some right. Okay, let's put in some red, green, some sort of reeds. Right, I'll alter that and have some bit of more red in that. Okay, let's get the old tissue. It's very, very messy, but when you wipe your hands on your pinny, make sure the pinny's over your knees. So it's sort of a gentle sort of blending. I've got to put some white back in there. Okay, are you still with me, guys? I've got my roller chair on my hairdryer wire. Wires everywhere, wire to the camera, wires to the computer, wires to this, wires to that. I don't really like that green so much, so I'm going to see if I can take some. Let's put some yellow back. The probably better just the red and the green, rather than the phthalo green, which is very sort of strong. I'll put some oil on the paper. I don't really like that. Actually, those trees, there's not enough air in them. I can go over that with a shovel, I think. I'll change the brush, I think. Not using my big brush. I don't think it's needed. Right, okay, let's use some oil. At the moment, this one's going nowhere, but we will resurrect it. Have no fear. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, then we can sort of start again, can't we? Get more blue in that sky. Right, we'll let that go off and I'll put a bit of background in there now. Get my green brush. I'm going to keep it away from that yellow, I think, for a moment. So red and this light red. Want that coming down to that bank. Just overhanging a bit. Right, and then we'll put some on the back in the back of that. Just some distant trees on the horizon. Right, okay, now we'll put in the, well, shall we? I'm going to stick to those colours. Well, I like the yellow. Maybe the yellow would be better if it was yellow ochre. Some yellow ochre. What's that? Payne's great, no? Light red. I think I'm complicating it by having too many colours on the colour. Oops. Let's just save on a bunch of ochre. Well, I can't remember it is. 20-year-old. Just a bit left in that. Ah. Well, I changed my cloth. Just chopped the painting brush or the brush on my shoe, on my slipper. Right, I've got one bit of towering of being bequeathed. There we are, Stella Artois. So that's a new one, nice new one. Keep the brushes nice and clean. I'll do something on that sky while that just goes a bit tacky, because I think we've sort of resurrected it a bit. Get the tissue. Oops. I've got to go over that with the paper anyway. Okay, well that's a sort of sky. Right, so we'll use a bit of that ochre and the green. Touch of green and a lot of bit of white. Put some light back into that. Think you can create texture as much of it as you like. Then you can add the tissue and get the different surfaces. I think I'm going to have to just raise this up a little bit here. Maybe because I've got green in the sky. Okay, tissue. Soften that horizon. Put it in there. Right, I'm going to put some white in the, or lighter colour on the water. Right, I think I'll add a little bit of red in some of this as well. Now let's go back and put in some light colour. Let's put a bit of that blue in there. Just trying to put a bit of blue from overhead. Although it's not showing as blue, but anyway, that's quite good. I've got to make something more of these two trees here. So, because they sort of focus on the edge of the river. It's not a big river, but it's in the Somerset Levels, but it's only my idea of it. So, so a bit of the light red and a bit of the right, so that one, we'll put this other one, let's have that bigger one there. Never give up. A bit of ochre in that. Right, now, you don't want the two trees the same, you've got to separate them. Otherwise, your light goes between the two, alternates, and so this will be about chunks. We can. I've got me cotton buds ready. I've never used them before. I saw Stuart Davies. I'm glad you like my link to it, or my mentioning him. He's a super artist, and he gives you food for thought. And I just hope that doing this sort of gives you a bit of food for thought. All right, let's just, we need a bit of bluer contrast in there, so. So well, I don't know where the light's coming from in this. So we'll have some light on that side, I think. Right, now tissue. Oops. Alright, just straighten up that horizon. Right. Well, let that go because I've got to do a bit more tamping on that. But I want to do a bit of this foreground now. So just those two colours, the red and the green. I'm not sure that I've got the original green that Dennis Sheehan used, it doesn't matter. I have to look back on my dusk painting where I show it. But I really hope that none of my work is looking remotely like anybody else's. See, we share the techniques, but you can't share the, you can't copy slavishly, it's not right, is it? Sorry, listening to the radio, the Quincy Letts, one of our great sketch writers, political sketch. I remember there was a lot of bushy stuff in, or reeds and stuff in this edge of this river. I'm not going to lose that. We can add a little bit of that. Bit of white with that ochre. Right, now, I'll have to do that with this cloth, I think, and a fingernail on my thumbnail. Right, let's look at that for a minute. Get a bit of touch of red in that ochre. Oil. Oh no, let's have a bit of that, bit of green in there. No, don't like that. We'll go back with the ochre. Ochre and the red and the green. Right, let's try and put some lights, more lights in now. Well, it's coming on. Right, now I'll go back to that yellow and a bit of white and a bit of ochre, I think. A bit of oil. I still want more light on that horizon. Well, I don't think it's too bad. I put some in this foreground. Let's have some grassy colour. Right, I'll put that in the frame. How long we've been going? 48 minutes, right, that's not bad. We're within the hour, at which point the computer splits, the video splits. Right, got a frame. Dodgy bits have gone, wretched painting. Right, into the frame it goes. One tack, two, one in the middle, one in the middle. Just on the other side. I'm just wondering if 16 inches by 12 is too small for this type of painting. Well, it looks okay in the frame. So let's put it up a bit. Right, well, there we are. Just a little bit. I'll bring the camera around. Oh no, I'll remove the easel. It'll be easier to do that. Maybe not. Well, there we are. Well, that's all right, isn't it? Bit different. Just a little bit of an adjustment, I think. counter change isn't too good there. Well, I'm going to let that go. That's a fair example. It's different to what I've done before, so nobody has ever painted this view. Right. Thanks for looking, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.